Leadership students, I'm just touching base with you because I've just posted your grades for the second discussion. So I thought I'd, go through this with you. I'm going to go under content because I'm going to assume that as you're working on your assignments each week that you're going through, just like this. And so maybe you read chapter number 1, and I'm doing this to familiarize you with the tools in case you're uncomfortable. You have these instructions for discussion 1, and and you're reading all this very carefully. And then here comes chapter 2 discussion, and of course you're reading this. Now notice that I can click the link, right? And this did say that it was for units 2 and 3, and you have your syllabus that explains that that's a single assignment. So when I click on chapter 3, here's our instructions, and we're just continuing through the list here. Now I'm going to work forward to chapter 4. What all do we have going on chapter 4? Let me jump back to chapter 3. You see my due dates? Well, they've almost passed. I have a little bit more time on chapter 3, but my due date for discussion 2, oh, I see it doesn't show here. Okay, it should be in your calendar though, so be on the lookout for that. And it's also on the printed schedule that I gave you. And I'm going to show you some things that I hope will help you to manage and do a little better on your assignments, okay? That's really the purpose of this video. So I'm going to click on chapter 4. Whoop, I've got a lot of activities here to do on chapter 4. Well, first of all, I'm going to start by reading the instructions. Let's see if I can figure this out. It says this is what I need to read. It says that I have the Unit 4 quiz. Now, when we go to look at the Unit 4 quiz, what you're going to see is that it's actually divided into 2 parts, and I'm going to show you that. It also says that I need to watch the movie Iron Jawed Angels. This is a great movie. It really speaks well to so many leadership points. We're using it here to study articulating a vision, but wonderful, wonderful movie. Then I need to go to the discussion board and I need to reply. Notice that there are parts 1 and 2 of the discussion board, so I need to read. Now I'm assuming you're reading this in detail. For the sake of brevity, I'm just kind of showing you that this is here. You may want to look at, service learning as an extra credit, and then of course, just continue on. And I do provide some resources here for you if you're stuck. Okay, let's go back to chapter 4. Now that I've got the overview, the instructions, and let me see what I need to do. Well, here's part 1 of the quiz. Here's part 2 of the quiz. Now I can see that these both opened on the first day of the semester, and I have until February the 23rd. So I need to make sure that I'm reading. I need to make sure that I'm answering those questions because I only have a limited, can you see this time here? I'm making this video for you on the 15th, and so you have about a week to do that. But you also want to start working on the Unit 4 discussion. So here's where I want to spend a little bit of time. I'm going to click the link for the discussion. And here I need to make sure that I am reading these instructions, okay? It's about the video. I need to read these pages of my book, but notice here in red that I need to respond to these 2 discussion threads below. Okay, so one of the discussions is going to deal with Alice Paul. One of the discussions is going to deal with your vision. So how do I, respond to that? Well, you do not click this Start a New Thread button. I think that's getting a couple of folks into trouble. What you want to do is you want to click this part 1 of 2, or whichever one you want to answer first. I would probably do them in order. I think that would be helpful. And you want to now read the rest of the instructions, okay, so that you know exactly what to do. Now you are going to respond to part 1 of 2. So here you would click Reply to Thread. And this is where, and you can give it a nice title, change this, and then put your response here. So this is where that's going to be helpful. Then you're going to go back to topic. And you can see, let me go all the way back one more. Oh, here's part 2 of 2. You just have to read these things, and I'm going to read what I need to do for my second post, read those instructions carefully, and then I'm going to reply to thread here as well. So you know, each part is 10 points, and so your discussions in total are 20 points. They are important because they allow you to demonstrate your knowledge, that you are reading the articles and that you are observing the characters in these movies, which are carefully picked by the authors of your textbook, that you are observing them demonstrate the characteristics that you're studying. So make sure that you are doing that. So again, how did I get here? Where I'm under Unit 4, right, and I read the instructions. I'm doing Part 1 and Part 2 of the quiz, and I'm monitoring those deadlines. In fact, speaking of deadlines, let me just go back. I was under Content, right, Chapter 4. Now I'm going into Unit 4 Discussion. Let me make sure that I complete this by the due date. So the due dates are here, and it's important to pay attention to those. Since all your assignments have due dates, another thing that you may want to look at is, I believe from the home page you have a calendar, but I also provided you with a printout, you know, with a document that you could easily print or easily just reference, open up with your due date. So make sure you're staying on top of these so that you don't get behind. Okay, I hope this is helpful. Your grades are posted for the previous discussions, and I hope that you review those and use the feedback that I'm giving you to continuously improve. If you're not posting, folks, these are 20 points, and so they are not to be trifled with. Get out there and earn those points. I think you'll enjoy it. Watching these movies can sometimes be a great thing to do with your family and discuss some of the concepts that you're reading, but of course that's up to you. You know, look at your grades, look at the feedback, and we'll be talking again soon. Thanks.